Japan is reportedly ready to lift a ban on overseas travel to a dozen countries.
Japan reported 407 cases, up from 386 the previous day.
And it will not be essential to undergo quarantine. The problem here in Japan is
We understand that during these difficult times, your daily routine has been disrupted, which can make things confusing. Our nation's once thriving casinos, buzzing with the sound of pachinko jackpots, are now idle, collecting dust. However, just because public society has completely shut down doesn't mean that you can't quench your crippling gambling addiction. That's why Nintendo is proud to present the 16-bit home casino. A collection of every Super Nintendo pachinko game ever made, loaded onto one game cartridge. Now, we know what you're thinking. Every pachinko game? Well, gee golly, that sure can be a lot. Wrong, there's over 30 pachinko games on the Super Nintendo.
That's right, over 30 pachinko games. None of which were translated and brought to the American market, by the way. Which makes sense considering how most Americans haven't even heard of pachinko, despite it being created in America as a children's game back in the 1920s. After finding its way overseas, it quickly evolved into a national obsession in post-World War II Japan.
Now, back in my day, the pachinko machines were made out of wood with no digital components, and we had to walk 15 miles to get to the pachinko parlor.
Okay, old man. Well, it's probably about time I explain what the heck pachinko is, so let's boot up our first game to demonstrate. Enter Takashi, a strapping young salaryman ready to lose his entire hard-earned weekly paycheck in only 1 hour. He bravely takes his first step into the pachinko parlor and approaches the kawaii young woman working the counter. Takashi rents a basket full of 11mm steel balls at the standard price of 4 yen per ball, about 4 pennies each. He takes a seat at his favorite machine, the one he believes is just ever so slightly more lucky than the others, and dumps his balls in to start playing. In the old days, these balls had to be launched by a spring-loaded paddle individually, but this isn't the Stone Age. Modern machines continuously launch balls with their speed adjusted by a turnable power knob. See, the balls travel to the top of the board and are brought down by gravity through an obstacle course of pins that are nailed to the board. Getting the ball into the catchers awards the player with a payout, and can even trigger a chance to win a jackpot by activating a minigame in the center of the board. Jackpot minigames can also add a lot of personality to the board. The most common are slot machines, but there are some other types such as, Oh no, this hasn't aged well. This is like straight out of one of those old cartoons Grandpa used to watch when he was a kid. That should have never existed, by the way. Whatever, let's leave this in the past and take a look at the first pachinko game released on the Super Nintendo. Wow, a pre-rendered Super Nintendo cutscene. You don't see these every day. So in this game, you play as an overworked salaryman. A common theme for pachinko games, as we'll soon see. During the day, he files paperwork and gets harassed by his boss and coworkers. But at night, he becomes the legendary Pachinko Hero Champion Man. Basically a Superman Clark Kent kind of deal. The graphics are pretty good for an early Super Nintendo game. If I could just figure out how to play it. I think I rent balls here. Got it. Alright, let's try to score a jackpot. Wait, did you just see what I just saw? Did she just... hold on, let me get more balls. More balls, please. Okay, now to confirm our suspicions. Holy crap! What if I keep going? Could I possibly see something more, perhaps? Somebody get Miyamoto on the phone right now, and make sure he knows that they're stripping women on a Nintendo console. No wonder men get addicted to pachinko. Also, I'm starting to understand the benefits of having this in the privacy of my own home.
Are you winning, son?
Unfortunately, the other boards aren't as, Interesting. Though, the music is pretty good. Anyway, let's move on to Pachinko Wars 2, the sequel. This time, you get to drive around a city to choose where to go. Let's check out the downtown Pachinko parlor. Ah yes, the downtown Pachinko parlor, where you'll find familiar faces such as Elmer Fudd, Mr. Wilson,
You have to expect the unexpected.
and you know, some people said he fled to Argentina. Who would have ever thought to look inside of a pachinko parlor? Who? Unfortunately, the gameplay is less titillating than the original. The board is pretty wacky though, I'll give it that. Damn, these pachinko composers were really onto something. What a banger of a track. Now let me just translate this story for you guys. This is the mecca of pachinko. I want to be the most professional, with 6 tatami mats in one room. It's the first time I've ever been in a club. Target the year is to make 1,000 gold. You can't waste money. There are 4 pachinko parlors here. Before we start the game, I will explain. Then he goes on to tell you how to play. So yeah, the women in the background here are there for no reason. Originally, I thought the plot was that the guy was trying to maintain like 3 high-maintenance girlfriends with pachinko as his only source of income. That would be a cool game. Wait a second. The one on the left kind of looks like a Japanese Sarah Jessica Parker. Unfortunately, the pachinko boards lack any ball sound effects and are just so plain. So let's just move on. Yeah, in this game, you play as a tough guy who walks down the pachinko aisle to unnerving music, menacingly. You want to know why there isn't anybody in this pachinko parlor? Because of this guy. That's basically the only part of this game as far as I'm concerned, because I can't figure out how to launch balls in the damn machine. Look, they even put in a low-resolution instruction manual that's completely illegible, and 20 pages long! It's like they're trying to torture me. It's gotta be something, Wait, I saw a ball shoot up! Oh, you have to hold down the R button! How could I have been so stupid? It just makes so much sense now. And by the way, remember when I complained about the lack of ball sound effects in the last game? You know what sucks? Having to gamble in a tiny 1-floor pachinko parlor instead of a 10-story high-rise pachinko mega complex owned by Donald J. Trump.
China!
Oh, why? Hello there. Didn't expect to see someone as beautiful as you hanging around, Shh, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to that piece of art over there. Somebody tell me how do lewd women keep sneaking past Miyamoto's iron grip of censorship? Into the elevator. Onward, ridiculously dressed Japanese woman. Ascend me to pachinko heaven. Whoa, it's a GameSpot! Was this like some desperate attempt by the game designers to get a good review score? Floor 3 is the bank or stock exchange or something. I'm assuming I hit the wrong button here and they realized I was broke, hence I got a game over. Gotta ride back to the top again in this awkwardly long elevator ride, so nice weather, huh?
Better paradise!
This is certainly unique, a double-sided pachinko machine where you control both power levels simultaneously.
A few moments later.
Oh look, another game over! I assume it's because I got caught playing with myself on floor 4. Anyway, floor 5 has a decent variety of regular pachinko boards, but floor 6 is where the real action is. Yeah, now we're talking! But they won't let me in! Please! Please let me in! I promise I won't do what I did on floor 4. Wait, hold on, floor 8 is bowling? What is this, like the Wii Sports version of pachinko? Let me guess, I just get to look from the doorway while other people have fun. You know, at first I thought maybe, just maybe, there was a mass shooting going on in here. Then I realized the bowling alley was just under construction. Pardon my American PTSD. So down in the basement there's another cool activity you can't participate in. A Misfits concert! Can you please take me to a floor with a non-pachinko related activity I can actually participate in? Wait a minute, this elevator chick kinda reminds me of, oh no. I'm out! I'm out! Ah yes, truly, a game that deserved a sequel. And it's hard to believe that this one's actually the sequel. Holy crap, look how bad the art is in this game. And those eyes! Those black, soulless eyes. Karaoke, huh? Oh, of course! Us Americans are so stupid. How did we not realize that karaoke was Japanese for breakout? Unfortunately, this has been some of the best quote-unquote gameplay so far. Sad, I know. One floor up is the Pachinko parlor. Let's just say the Pachinko gameplay is not the highlight of the series.
This hotel sure is shit lasagna. Every floor is a layer of ass!
Uh-oh, I think I wound up in the wrong place at the wrong time, you know? I heard those rumors about the Mafia being involved in gambling. I've seen Casino with Robert De Niro. I know what's up, but satanic mobsters? Nope, that's where I draw the line. Next floor.
Do you want to know what it is?
I don't know, do I?
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave now. Ah, finally. A place to rest and grab a drink. God knows I need one. This series seems to have tons of game options that I can't understand. Hey jerk, I wanted board number 1. Well, what if I just sit right next to you? Does urinal etiquette apply to Pachinko? You know, like if I sit right next to him, is he gonna feel uncomfortable? Maybe think I'll try to sneak a peek at his ball count? And if I sit too far away, is he gonna feel insulted? Hey, these are the kind of things you need to think about before going to Japan, okay? And as far as this series goes, just don't bother. There's one semi-interesting board, but the music and sound effects are a bit, unnerving. And did they really need to put out 3 games in this series? A trilogy with the same crap in every game? That's like watching Lord of the Rings, but in the second movie, Frodo has to go back home because he forgot the ring. And in the third movie, he has to go back home to take a dump because he doesn't want Sam to smell it. Or like Star Wars. Like imagine if they blew up the Death Star at the end of every movie. Oh wait. Ah yes, a game that's best played at the movie theater. And every game comes with a free 8x3-foot IMAX alarm clock, so you'll never be late for work again. Well, good thing the protagonist of Super Pachinko doesn't have to worry about any of that. Clearly he has no money problems, seeing as how he has a Pachinko parlor in his damn house. And I'm not even talking about like a handful of machines. Try 31. That's right, 31 Pachinko boards in his 2-room apartment. This is almost as bad as Cartman when he bought the whole amusement park and didn't let anybody on the rides. Unfortunately, you can only play the same 31 boards for just so long, and thus our otaku ventures out into the filthy public Pachinko parlors to play the boards he hopes to one day hoard in his apartment. Between you and me, I bet he's the kind of guy who eats cup noodles every day so he can fund his obsessive collection habits. Not that I would know anything about that. So the first board we find is Saru Cop. And you would think Saru is Japanese for monkey, right? A cool idea for an anime, by the way. But no, it's actually Money Cop. Unless Cop is Japanese for monkey. Anyway, the boards in this game suck. It's cool that they might actually have 31 boards in one game, but what's the point if they're all boring? I'm gonna remember this one as the Action 52 of Pachinko games. There, I said it. Next! Well, not to be outdone by their competitors, Hisansu developed a riveting 4-part series of Pachinko games. What do you even call it? A quadrilogy? Doesn't quite roll off the tongue. Oh look, Sunsoft. They've actually put out some decent Super Nintendo games, such as Lemmings, Arrow the Acrobat, and Lemmings 2, I guess. What a great game! 10 out of 10 IGN, a huge success! Tremendous profits! Enormous sales! Hey all of you boomers out there, remember when Windows had that annoying paperclip to help people that didn't know how to use computers? Yeah, imagine if we got this chick instead. We'd all be computer geniuses. The sound effects are pretty crisp, but there's no music really in this game, and I guess this gives the players the option to listen to their own music at home. The second game is finally a sequel that makes sense. Yes! Unfortunately, the gameplay of the second game is basically the same thing as the first game, so let's move on to the third game in the series. When you turn the game on, you get one of the strangest intros to a SNES game I've ever heard. Just take a listen to this. Now, I don't speak Japanese, but if I had to guess, I think this is one of the game developers asking all of the buyers of the game if they've seen his car keys. Anyway, let's boot up the main menu here and Sweet Home Alabama! I am no hentai. This shamelessness. You gotta love how the protagonist's room changes over the series. Like he's going through puberty along with us. Ah, what a big relief. A breath of fresh air. I thought we would never meet again. Oh dear Jesus, look at this lewd board. Look at it! I can't wait to empty some balls into this one. Seriously though, this has gotta be the lewdest thing I've ever seen on the Super Nintendo. I'm disgusted. So disgusted that I dropped $60 on this game. Hold up, is the one on the left doing what I think she's doing?
What are you doing in there?
It's not what you think! I'm just gambling, smoking, and drinking! And hey, they finally added music to the game. Yeah, that's nice, I guess. I am curious what the reward is for the jackpot. Maybe I'll just chill a bit and see if we can hit it.
20 minutes later.
Oh look, 20 minutes in and the music randomly stops. Interesting. Did they not expect that men wouldn't play this board for more than 20 minutes in a desperate attempt to view the jackpot? Well, think again! So, after literally 3 hours of leaving the game running, I finally did it! Now, the question is, was it worth it?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Now for the last game. Listen guys, I'm not a furry, but come on! In this game, the protagonist got married and his wife made him replace all his lewd posters with pictures of herself. So the fourth game is full of men, huh? I mean, I guess everybody's got their preferences. And oh damn, man nipples in a SNES game. You know, that's another first. Is this some type of fetish in Japan? Full suit with no shirt? Or was he just in such a hurry to gamble that he forgot to get dressed? Sadly, the boards in this game don't live up to what we've come to love and expect from this series. Play the third game, the best of the four, hands down. This one starts off in the editor's office of a pachinko magazine company. It seems like a hard topic to make a monthly publication about, but then again, I'm not Japanese. And apparently these guys aren't either, because suddenly Kim Jong-un shows up out of nowhere. North Korean pachinko! Alright, here's my fan translation, ready? Kim Jong-un kidnaps a bunch of Japanese pachinko board designers and demands that they make him a board that he can never lose on. Let's just say you don't get any extra lives in this game. Okay, back to reality. For a 1995 SNES game, this game just doesn't hold up. There's not much detail on the machine, and no visible way to change the launch power of the balls. Hard pass on this one.
Back in my day, the
Yeah,
Pachinko
I've definitely
machines
seen
were made
enough.
out of-
It's Ultraman! Right out of 1966, here's a pachinko game with characters out of the Ultraman TV series. But wait, there's more. It's a pachinko fighting game. That's right, instead of winning a jackpot, your slot machine triggers an attack on the opponent. This is an awesome idea that nobody asked for. It adds an extra layer of interaction and introduces competition as you battle your friends in a game of mostly luck. While bragging rights are fun and all, I think it's time we head back to an actual pachinko parlor so we can keep gambling.
Attention Bacagaijin. Do you not understand that gambling is against the law in the great country of Japan?
Wait, what? But what about, huh?
Please enjoy a montage of generic Super Nintendo Pachinko games as I explain in great detail. According to the Criminal Code of Japan Chapter 23, most form of a gambling is banned in Japan. Then you may ask yourself, how can Pachinko parlor exist? Well, Pachinko parlor does not reward money for winnings after gaming has completed. Instead, winner is awarded a voucher indicating how many balls he has returned. Now, outside of the premises of the Pachinko parlor, you will find, usually across the street, a completely different store not owned or operated in any association with the owner of the Pachinko parlor. By taking your voucher to this store, they will purchase the voucher from you and sell it to the Pachinko parlor with an added fee. You see, because these two businesses are not operating in collusion in any way, Japan does not consider this a gambling.
Okay, how does that make any sense at all? You do realize how ridiculous this sounds, right?
Well, Pachinko is considered an important part of a Japanese culture and history, so we allow this special condition to apply to Pachinko. Now please move along and enjoy Pachinko, but do not call it a gambling.
So, we've seen pachinko games for kids, and pachinko games for adults. But where's the pachinko games for edgy teenagers? This one starts off with shadowy figures in a post-apocalyptic Japan, with our protagonist standing triumphantly on a hill of broken pachinko machines with a great pachinko board behind him. I went through the trouble of actually translating this because, you know, what can I say, I was curious. I did, however, use a sketchy, free Russian picture scanning language translator, so if I'm a little off, don't crucify me. A young Japanese man leaves a pachinko parlor and meets a shadowy figure who gives him directions to a special pachinko parlor. He knows the area is supposed to be a vacant lot, but when he arrives, it turns out to be a giant pachinko parlor. And that's pretty much it. As for the gameplay, I gotta say, this game has the highest resolution pachinko boards of any of the games I've seen. But there's one small little catch to that. Yeah, the camera is zoomed in, so you can only see like a third of the board at a time. In my opinion, I'll take less graphics to be able to see the whole thing. I'm really not a fan of this one, but I do hope the kids over at Hot Topic are happy that they finally got a pachinko game for their demographic. Let's move on. Alright, so the boards in this game have pretty cool themes like baseball, and you get a good variety of machines. I mean, a lot of the pachinko games I've seen have had 3 or less boards, so at least you're getting some value out of this one. Almost. Almost! Man, it feels way better to hit a jackpot in public. You know, then you get everybody's attention and jealousy as you rake in the cash.
A few minutes later.
And wow, I guess pachinko jackpots go on for a really long time, huh? Long enough to do a victory dance alone in my room. There's a story mode too, but it doesn't seem to involve much more than the main character traveling from his house to the pachinko parlor. Alright, let's check out the sequel. It's the same main menu, and there's one less board. Man, I bet some old Japanese guy was pissed over this. Also, it feels like the gameplay is slightly worse than the original. There's no crisp sound effects or background music. What the heck is this? A chicken board? Okay, Japan, you got my attention. Okay, what the f***, Japan? Who thinks of this? Probably the strangest thing I've seen with regard to chickens in video games. I take that back. Though I would like to see what the jackpot looks like. Oh my god, I did it! So the mama chicken and her baby take a world tour in a hot air balloon. What drugs even? Antarctica? That's not a place for chickens. I will say one thing, these organic chickens are the most free-range birds I've ever seen. Yes, they will certainly find their way to the dinner plate of some ultra-liberal at a 5-star organic restaurant.
One eternity later.
It just doesn't end. I can't turn it off. I can't quit. I'm addicted. And now the chicken's scuba diving. The other boards in this game don't even compare to the chicken one. If you're not playing the chicken one, you're doing something wrong. But the real question is, was this game worth $60 for the chicken machine alone? Yes. Now for the third and final game in the series. But wait, hold on a second. You're telling me there's only 2 boards in this game? And they both suck? Maybe you unlock more in story mode, but I'd rather move on and see something else. Oh my god, what is that guy doing in the back?
It gets bigger when I pull him.
This is like the Citizen Kane of pachinko title screens. A compelling tale told over a series of 2,000 images. Putting first impressions aside, this one's actually pretty good. I feel like the music does a good job of putting me in a trance-like state, which I assume is what a real pachinko parlor does to make you lose track of time and milk you for all of your life savings in just one afternoon. Maybe it's actually too much. Must buy more pachinko games. Could this be the legendary Pachinko RPG? Hey, the 1980s called, they want their music back, which is way too epic for this game, by the way. We've got some serious NES level graphics here, real 8-bit shit. Despite the overworld, the backstory, and all the bells and whistles this game has to offer, the Pachinko gameplay really doesn't hold up compared to some of the other games we've seen. Also, it's another one of those damn games where you have to hold down the button to keep the balls flying out. And oh good, this one's a trilogy too. Why is there so much violence and hatred in the world? Can't they see that we're all pachinko balls on the inside? So is that the judge that finalized the divorce? Yeah, I'm a free man to spread my ball elsewhere. Do I need to call PETA? Someone get this cat some lasagna. At least they give you some variety though. Look at all these casinos. I mean, pachinko parlors. I gotta say, my expectations for the third game are pretty low. Turns out this was all a dream? Mr. Pachinko Ball relives all his past memories in a best-of collection. There's young and optimistic number 1, getting married, game number 2, getting divorced, game number 3, and jealous of my ex-wife's new family, 4. And look at all these buildings, 12 in total, and that's just one of the 4 game modes. At least we found a cute innocent board. I mean, they couldn't, they wouldn't, they shouldn't. Toasty! Shameless! Using sex to sell your pachinko game is almost like putting drugs in the machine. Now, follow me on this. Imagine if they built a pachinko machine that blew out cocaine dust at the player when they got a jackpot. I legit lost 1,000 balls on this machine. You know, they were onto something with this pachinko ball character. He had potential to be a great mascot for the Super Famicom in Japan. But they wasted it by keeping him confined to these boring, subpar pachinko adventures. Imagine if he was given a chance to star in a real game, like Mario. Nintendo? Give this man his own 2D platformer. Who asked for this? Oh wait. Well, here it is. Action Pachinko. Just consider him Sonic the Hedgehog's special brother. You can't jump on enemies unless you're rolled into a ball, and you get a health bar, but much like Mega Man, if you hit these spikes, you're dead. And it's pretty easy to miss platforms considering how floaty the controls are. Don't you just love it when the platforms give out under you, sending you to an instant death? Amazing! Much like Sonic, this game also has bosses. Well, I assume there's more than one. I have to assume because I have no damn clue how to defeat the first boss. It seems like he's totally invulnerable to damage. Do you have to hang on to the damage boost power-up all the way through level 1? I have no idea! And frankly, I don't care! I've seen enough, I've heard enough, I'm calling it quits and heading back to the one place I've seen all day that can help me forget about the clanking and grinding sounds of pachinko machines. Say, Lloyd, it, seems the pachinko parlors really, drained my wallet there. How's my credit in this joint anyway?
Your credit's fine, Mr. Foxy.
That's swell. I like you, Lloyd. I've always liked you. You were always the best of them. The best damn bartender from Tokyo to Okinawa, for that matter.
Thank you for saying so.
Here's to 5 miserable months on YouTube. And all the irreparable harm that it's caused me.